You're live.
Are we live? Is my mic on? Yes, it's on. Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining us today. First things first, sorry that this live stream is starting 15 minutes late. This is 15 minutes past 3. It was meant to start at 3 o'clock, but we're just trying to sort out like the audio and make sure that everything goes smoothly. And we all have a nice experience creating together. Let me know where you guys are joining in from as per usual. I'm here in the UK, south of London, and we're going to be making a butterfly skirt today. And this skirt is really simple. Now, my idea of simple might be different from everyone's else idea of simple, but the plan is to actually cut the skirt straight onto the fabric, no pattern, really simple, really straightforward. And I have to shout out HN Clothing. I saw her YouTube tutorial and I was like, okay, I have to try out this project. So she's the inspiration behind today's live stream. Thank you so much for making your own skirt. I'm going to attempt to make mine today. Let's see. We have Nigeria in the chat. We have Trinidad and Tobago. We have Jamaica, Montreal, Canada. How is it in Canada? Like, I have a friend who just relocated there recently. How is it over there? Hello from Grenada. Grenada or Grenada? Nah, please, let's not just even go there. I'm so horrible with like pronouncing names. But thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to be the third Sewing with Kim live stream. I've been doing these all summer and I've been enjoying them like a lot. If you guys would like me to continue, let me know in the chat. What should we try out next? Today we're going to be making a butterfly skirt, which you guys actually voted for when I put out a poll. I think it was like earlier this month. All right, I see Jenny Space from Doha. Hi, Jenny. I see Queen Patcher from Tennessee, Florida. Hello. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to get straight into this because you guys know I talk a lot, so let's just start sewing. I have tried to create a presentation that is going to guide both me and you guys so we're on the same page. So if we look on here, we would see all the materials. Should you do materials or should we do measurements first?
Whichever slide.
Okay, so let's do overview first, so you guys just get a general gist of what we're doing. By the way, George is to my right. He's our operations manager who is going to be helping me with links, comments, and if there's any technical issues, he would help me to sort that out. But we've gone through the intro together. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. After that, we're going to go through like all of the materials if you're sewing with me today, or if you're watching this live stream back, you know what you need to prepare to make this butterfly skirt for yourself or for a client. Then we'll go through the measurements so you know what measurement that you need to work with to create your skirt. And then we're just going to go ahead and cut the skirt, stitch it all together. I'm aiming to actually finish the skirt today. However, I love to manage expectations. If by 5 o'clock it's looking like the skirt is not finishing, I will just give you guys a general gist of how to finish it because I love to respect people's time. I think time is so precious. And then if we finish the skirts, we show it at the end. I would actually love to know if anybody is sewing with me today, so I'm just going to create a quick poll. You know, I love to do these polls in the chat to get you guys to like engage, interact, so I know if anybody's actually sewing with me today. The last two live streams, people have actually stitched pieces or like use pattern to make their own piece, and then I get like your pictures in my DMs and in my emails. So it's always really nice to see when you guys actually like try out the project for yourself. It's like the best testament of the work I do when you try it and it works for you despite like the skill level you are at or where you're watching from. All right, shout out to tech support, George, as mentioned earlier on, and we have Ngima Wandia. I don't know if she has joined the chat yet, but basically we have two moderators who are going to be responding to the comments in case there's something I miss. And the moderators actually have like a spanner next to their name, so you know this is someone that is assisting me today, whether it's Stoikity, the first one that just popped up here, or Ngima Wandia, who I believe would be joining us at some point. All right, let's do this. Okay, sorry. Let's go through the materials so we know what we're using today. The fabric I'm working with is this, I don't even know what to call it. Is this cheetah print? Is this, I think it's a combination of everything. But I'm a Leo. I just saw the fabric and I liked it and I bought it. This is like a soft cotton like fabric. I want to say is like a cotton blend. It definitely feels like it has some kind of silky, satiny or viscose fiber in there because it's very flowy. And when I got people asking me what kind of fabric to prepare for this live stream, I was always quick to say something that is not too light, so you don't need to line it, but something that is a bit flowy. So when we do the ruching on the side, it makes the ruffles very, very nicely. So that's the fabric I'm working with today. I have 1.5 meters, but if you want your skirt to come out midi length or longer, I would say go for like 2 meters because you want to make the skirt really long. So when you ruffle it or ruche it back in on the side, it is at a length that you're comfortable with. The length I'm aiming to attain today is above my knee because I'm not tall, so I like to have my skirts like either above my knee or like mid calf. So I'm aiming for a mini version today, but you can make yours longer if you wanted. So that's my main fabric here. The other thing I'm going to be working with is elastic. This is like a 1/2 inch slim elastic, but you can decide to use a slim strap if you don't want to use the elastic method. Basically, you can just make slim straps that you can put into the side tunnels of the skirt to create the ruching effect if you don't have elastic or if you don't want to even use elastic. So that's the one I'm using, just a simple white elastic. You normally find this when you go to like the sewing supply store. I see more of you joining the chat. Lydia, Joyous Joy, hello, hello, hello. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, next material. What was I? Okay, so you need all of your rulers. I have my pattern master here. I have a long metal ruler here as well because I want my lines to be as accurate as possible. So these are going to be helping me to do that. The next thing I need is my fabric scissors. It's just behind me. I'll grab that soon once I've marked out all of my lines. But you need a fabric scissors. Yes, the gold one. I love the scissors. It's so extra. I think I got it from John Lewis or so. It was a gift, this one. And it's very long and very sharp. So you need a fabric scissors to cut your skirts. You would also need Tailor's chalk to mark on your fabric. I got this pink one and I really hope it's going to show when I start to mark on this fabric because I normally use a white chalk, but the fabric has like cream lines in there. So I'm praying this one actually works. We'll see. But you need a Tailor's chalk. You also need a zip to sit on the back of your skirt. I have a black invisible zip. I've really been enjoying invisible zips these days. There was a time I used to hate. I had to run away from these zips, but we're going to be using one of these today. And then the last thing I mentioned that I forgot to mention in the list was you would actually need to add some interfacing to your waistband. I've done this prior to the live stream. So I've cut like a long band that is my waist measurement plus 1/2 inch on both ends. So I'm able to fit it into the zip. But this I have cut like this. This I would say is, I think it was like 1.5 inch. Yeah. 1.5 inch wide, the waistband, and I have ironed some interfacing on the wrong side because the fabric is really soft and delicate and I wanted the waistband to have some structure. So that was the last thing that I forgot to mention in the list that I shared with you guys, but I think it would come in really handy. If you feel your fabric does not need interfacing, you can just make your waistband like that, or you could double it up in such a way that you would make a strap, like a thick strap, so it's actually thick before you stitch that as a waistband onto the skirt. So that's the last thing that we need in terms of materials, and most importantly, we would love a positive attitude to create. We always like to catch banter on these live streams. Please engage with the chat. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I learned from you guys a lot because there are a lot of you that have more experience than me when it comes to pattern making and sewing. So let this be a two-way stream, even though I'm the one in front of the camera. Okay, so now that we have all of the materials out of the way, I believe we can go through measurements now. Yes, let's go through measurements. I have written mine down here and actually wrote down the steps as well. So if I forget something or if I get confused or if I just blank out, I can refer back to my notes and remind myself or remind you guys. So the measurement you're going to need, the first one is to measure around your waistline. This is going to be a skirt. You also need to measure around your hips, and then you need to measure the vertical distance from your waist to your hip. and decide on how long you want your skirt to be. See, just 4 measurements. Like is really simple. It's really straightforward. So I have my measurements written down here, and that's what I'm going to be working with today. But if you're just joining this live stream, we started late. I apologize yet again. We're going to be making a butterfly skirt. I aim to finish this today, but if we don't, it's not the end of the world. I'll give you guys whatever necessary steps I needed to finish the skirt to as close as possible as to your liking. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's go into the chat. Pauline McIntosh, is that how you pronounce your name? You can use belting too for waistband. Yes, that's actually true. They sell these already made like straps if you go into like a sewing supply store. So I believe it's the one that you can use for like back straps. Is that what you mean, Pauline? You can use that one for a waistband. That's something I've also seen as well. Angela Pass says, well, nice scissors. Thank you. I think they were a gift. I don't remember, but I feel like they were a gift. I love to collect scissors. I think at this point I have like 7 pairs of scissors. Tell me why I have that many scissors. I honestly don't know. I just like to collect them. Even some I don't even use anymore. I just like to look at them. I don't understand why, but I just love to collect scissors. Let's see. I'm live today. Today I'm live. Yes. Thank you for joining us. I think we'll just get right into the actual making, right into the sewing. If anybody is sewing with me today and I go too fast or I say something that I don't really understand, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. But you can also support this live stream by using any of the supers if you want to. You would find them, I believe they are close to where the chat is on the, if you're watching on your desktop, this would be on like the right side of your screen. If you're watching on your phone, it will just be underneath the live stream. You can use either the super stickers, the super thanks. Any of them would highlight your name, highlight your comment, and whatever you donate will go onto buying fabrics, any other thing that we need to keep this channel going, because that is very necessary. And you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would be much appreciated. Okay. There's a question here from Queen Pacho. Would the skirt work with kente material? Trying to think, is it like the original kente that is like very thick? Because if you look at the picture that I used in the flyer, this was a picture I found on Instagram. The picture is not mine. I just found this picture of like the example skirt I'm aiming to make. It would require a fabric that is not too thick. So if it's like original kente that I know is like quite thick and heavy, I'm not sure it will fall the way you would want it to, except if you want the ruffles to be a bit more structured, then you can go ahead and use that. But you can use African prints if it's on the lighter side. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. There is a comment here from Sue Davis. Hi, from Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Sue. Thank you for joining us. There is another comment here from Companion Adedeji. I will be cutting. I might not be sewing. That's totally fine. Like, you can sew in your own time. I find that the work when it comes to creating clothes is pattern making and cutting. Sewing, in my head, goes by very easy. You can just put on your headphones, just like zone out and just be sewing, especially if you have like an industrial machine. Sewing goes by very quickly. All right, so if we're all ready, let's get into this. Let me just flip to my page 1 so I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to clear my table and lay out my fabric. My fabric I have put right sides together so I can mark on the wrong side of the fabric. And that way, even if the chalk is something that doesn't wash off with time, it does not ruin the skirt for me. I also ironed my fabric before the live stream, so everything is, you know, nice and smooth. I'm really hoping is enough. I don't know why I did not get 2 meters. And the lady was looking at me, is like, you sure you don't want to make it 2 meters? I was like, oh no, 1.5 will be enough. And now I'm just looking at this and I'm like, why did I not get 2 meters? Oh, this fabric is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. So I'm just going to lay this out here. Let me try and put it like this so you can see what I'm doing. So this bottom side here is on a fold because I want to start with the front, and then I'm going to use the front to cut the back, because once you're able to cut the front the way you like, you'll be able to use your front to cut the back. The only difference with the back is you would have a seam allowance for your zip on the center back. That's essentially the only difference between the front and the back of this skirt. So I'm just going to grab my tape measure and my chalk, and let's get into this. Okay, starting from this top edge here, I don't know if you guys can see me. I think I may need to pull this down because my face is blocking this side. There we go, that's much better. Starting from this edge here, I'm going to be marking in this direction, and I'm just going to draw a, so you have like a clean waistline. I'm going to draw a short horizontal line here. This chalk, please work for me today. Oh. Hey, I hope people can see this thing. All right. Now I'm going to go in to mark a quarter of my waist measurement. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take my waist measurement. Mine is 29, praise the Lord. I'm going to divide that by 4 because what we're marking here is half of the front. So if you divide that waist measurement by 4, you get the correct dimension for here. So that's 7.25, and I'm going to add quarter inch ease. You can decide to not add ease or work with negative ease if your fabric is stretchy, but this fabric doesn't have a lot of stretch. I'm going to add like a quarter inch ease. That should give me 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5 from this edge in this direction. I'm working in inches, by the way, for anyone who is curious. Just going to mark. Yeah, I think I have to press this chalk down for people to really see what I'm doing. Okay, so I marked 7.5 there, and from this line downwards or in this direction, I'm going to mark the vertical distance from my waist to my hip. Mine is 10 inches. Some people's one is 8, some people is longer. I would say work with your measurement or that of your client for the best outcome. Yeah, I need to press the chalk for this thing to come out. All right, I'm going to square this across so I'm able to get a straight line. I'm going to match this edge of my pattern master to the edge of the fabric here, and then draw the hip line. I call it hip line. No, like this vertical distance. Some people call it hip drop. I just call it like vertical distance from my waist to my hip. Like I remember watching someone's video and she called it the hip drop. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know like that was another name that you could call it. Like, does anybody else know that? Because every day I'm really learning something in this my life. It's like, hip drop. It makes sense because it's the distance from your waist to your hip. All right, can we see? Can everybody see this line that I just drew? I can see it too. But please, can you see? So I know if we continue with this chalk. Just let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Say yes, I can see. I just drew in this line here that is going to act as my hip line.
It's very faint. You have blue chalk.
I don't have blue. The other one I ever have is worse. Like I have yellow. Yellow will not even be visible at all. This pink, I think I just need to shave it a little bit. It just needs to be, because when the edge is too smooth like that, the color doesn't come out as.
Some people saying they can't see the lines.
Oh, you can't see the lines. Ooh, this is.
It's hard to see.
Okay, let me check. See if I have another color here. One moment, please. Oh, the one I have here is still pink. Oh, let me try this one. This one seems thicker.
I think as long as you make the line.
Yeah, I think I just need to press the chalk in. So I've grabbed another one. Let's see if this would be. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. It's slightly faint, but I think I just need to press the chalk down so you guys are able to clearly see what I have done. But basically this line is a hip line and it's a vertical distance from No, nobody's blind like a bat now.
Yeah, it's just about visible.
Yeah, I think I just need to press it down even more. Next time I will get like a blue or like a very contrasting color. But we're going to work with the pink today, and as I go along I'll tell you what each line is, so even if it's not very visible you have an idea of what I just drew. Ivy League Furniture says line is faint but seen. Okay, thank you for confirming that at least it is seen even though it's slightly. So hip line is drawn. I'm going to go along that hip line to mark a quarter of my hip measurement plus quarter inch ease. So my hip is 39 divided by 4 plus 0.25. Let's try that again. Sorry, math wasn't my favorite subject in school. So that would give me 10 inches that I'm going to mark here. All right. Yes, Belinda, you can even scroll back right now as we're doing this live stream and start from the beginning. If you joined in late, we started about like 15-20 minutes ago, so you're not too late. I'm still doing the front. So if you just joined, we're making a butterfly skirt, and I'm just going in here to mark the full length of the skirt. So with the length of the skirt, you would want to, whatever your desired length, finished length is, you would want to add like 9 to 15 inches to that. If you wanted to ruffle or gather or ruche more, you add more to your finished or desired skirt length. So say for example you want your finished skirt length when you've added your elastic and your strap, if you want it to be 20 inches, you will now add 10 or 15 inches to that. So the skirt length you're marking here would be 30. So by the time you ruche it up and you gather in that excess that you're adding to your length, that's how you get like the effect that this skirt has. So I'm going to add 9 because my fabric, I just want to be careful so I have enough to actually go around today. I want my finished skirt length to be 20. Let me just double check my measurement. Yes, so I want my finished skirt length to be 20 inches, which is just slightly above my knee. You can have yours midi or maxi if you want. So I'm going to be marking 29. So that's my finished skirt length of 20 plus 9 inches, which is what we're going to be ruching or gathering back on the sides using the elastic like I'm doing today, or you can do the strap method if you don't have elastic. So I'm just going to come on here and mark from the waistline downwards 29 inches. Just mark that one here. Yes, that's still visible on the screen. Then I'm going to square that point across. Basically just draw in the hemline of the skirt on this bottom edge here. And to repress this chalk so it's clear for everyone to see.
I put the materials on the screen for anyone who's just joined.
Yes, okay, thank you. All right. Hemline is here. Hip line is here. Waistline is here. Now for the hemline width, I'm essentially just going to keep the same width as my hip. So here to here is 10 inches. I'm going to mark 10 inches from here to here as well on the bottom of the skirt. This is essentially just like a straight side seam. At this point, I'm going to actually get some pins to hold down this fabric. Please hold. I'm gonna grab my box of pins. All right, the tomato is here. I'm just going to add some pins because this fabric moves just a little bit. So by the time I'm putting things together and drawing lines, it keeps the shape that I want it to. All right, good. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the waist to the hip and then the hip to the hemline. So this is going to be a line that curves like this to follow, like, you know, the shape of your body as it goes out towards your hip. And then this is essentially going to be a straight line from the hip down to the hemline. That's what I'm going to do next. So I'm just going to come on here first. God bless the person who invented the pattern master. Because damn, I don't know how I'd have been able to draw all these lines. And also the French curve, because the French curve is quite good as well for like pattern making and drawing curved lines, like when you make garments. Oh, that's faint. Let me do that again. It's fun. Every live stream, there's somebody who always asks about the pattern master. I think at this point, Moreplan needs to sponsor me because I am the #1 ambassador of pattern master in this life. Not because of anything. I just genuinely like using the tool. It's so good. Like, so good. All right, I'm going to try the other way. So these pins. Just drawing in the side seam so we connect the hip. Hope you guys can see me. Oh, I apologize for this faint chalk. When there is a will, there is a way. That's the energy that we're going with today. I think once I cut it, you guys will get the gist of this. It's basically like marking a basic skirt, and then you now add your butterfly effect on the side. That's basically what this is. Let's see. See if there's any more questions. Oh, you guys are already having your own conversation in the chat. So I just need to.
So far there's no questions.
I just need to keep showing.
Don't worry, I'll let you know.
Okay.
If it comes up. So
this is the skirt shape here. This is like the first step done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be marking from this point outwards how much you want your skirt to butterfly on the side. Now you can go for like a really exaggerated butterfly detail of say 10 inches wide. I think I'm going to do like 5 inches. So it's going to be roughly this wide from the side seam. I think that should do. You can do 10 inches if you really want it to like flow and move as you walk, and if you want it to like cascade very well on the side. It's up to you. You can choose whatever you prefer to work with, but I am going to do 5 inches for today. So let's come on the side seam here. So from this edge line, we're going to mark 5 inches or 10 inches or 15, whatever you want to work with.
Question.
And
did you add 1/4 of an inch for allowance because the fabric is stretchy? Can it be more than that if it's non-stretchy fabric?
Yes, you can add more. You can add 1/2 inch, you can add 1 inch. So you have like a more comfortable fit when you've made your outfits. But yes, my fabric has a little bit of stretch, but not too much stretch. And you have to remember that whatever ease you're adding here, you multiply that by 4. So I've added 1/4 of an inch, but that is 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch on the other side of the front, and that's 1/4 inch of both sides of the back. I hope that mathed well, because when you are marking dimensions like this on half of either a front or a back, you are dividing it by 4. So whatever you're adding here, you multiply that by 4 as well in terms of like your ease and so on and so forth. I hope that answered your question. Ala Joke. I have a cousin called Joke actually. Well, what am I looking at? Oh, thank you, my dear. George just reminded me to tell you guys about the super thanks and the super stickers. If you want to support this live stream or support the channel, you can donate whatever you're comfortable with. It is just close to the chat, whether you're watching on your phone or whether you're joining us on a desktop. It kind of highlights your name and highlights your comments, and in any of these cute like animations that they have here, if you go for like the super thanks, the super stickers, you also get like a really fun super sticker as well. You can also decide to use the super chat if you want a question and you want me to see it straight away. That is something you can consider too. And whatever you give goes towards supporting the work we do on this channel. All right. I'm just marking my 5-inch butterfly extension along the side seam here. That's what I'm doing right now. So I've marked it like that. I'm going to connect them together. You guys may not really see it clearly. So there's a question from Companion Adedeji. I didn't hear of sewing allowance. Are we adding it later? So the sewing, this is going to become your stitch line. This line that we've marked here is going to become your stitch line. And then the way the design of this skirt works is you will now stitch another line here outside of your stitch line where you would pass your elastic through. So this is your stitch line, and because we're extending the skirt by about this much or about that much, you don't need to add another seam allowance. I hope that made sense. So this line here is your stitch line, and that's how you connect the front to the back. I hope that made sense. Companion, is it Companion or Adedeji? Because when I came to this country at first, I would always put my first name before my last name, but I realized that over here they put your first name before your last name. So I'm not sure if Companion is your first name or Adedeji is your first name. I just have to be sure that I'm saying your name correctly. So I have added the extended bit here, and I'm going to come to the waist area here, and along this side I am going to extend it by 1 inch along the waist. Then I'm going to mark I'll say like 2 inches downwards and still extend it by 1 inch there, and I will explain why it's slightly different along the waist in a moment. So 1 inch away from the waist area here, so like roughly 2 inches below your waistline. And then this I'm going to curve or like shoot out like this and connect to the rest of the side of the skirt. Oh, it's Companion. Okay, thank you for letting me know, because I wasn't sure if I was saying your name correctly. So I'm going to come along the side seam of my front again, and I'm going to mark the 5-inch that we've extended for the rest of the other parts. Mine, I'm using 5. You can use more if you want. Now mark it, say one more time here. So just do one closer to this edge. Now I'm going to connect everything together, and we're going to cut it out. So let's connect these ones. Let's draw out the hemline. Well, please ask questions too in the chat if you don't understand something I've said, or if you have a correction to make, if you've made this skirt design before, because it's actually a very trendy style. I've seen it everywhere. Initially I wanted to make a tutorial, but I was like, hold on hold on, we are doing a live stream. Let's make this our live stream topic. So that's the reason why I chose this design. All right. Okay, I think the pink is coming through now. Yes, I will, Renessa. Let me just draw this quickly, and then I'll go through it again. I promise. I promise I'll go through it. I just need to get this drawn and out of the way. Okay, that's visible. So Renessa, your question was, can you go over the amount for the extension at the waist? I'm guessing is this corner here, right? This little corner that I've done. Now, from the edge of the waist, this line that we drew first, in this direction, I marked, I believe it was 1 inch. Yes, I marked 1 inch extension this way, and I marked another 1 inch extension this way, which is like roughly 2 inches below the waistline. The reason for this is you want to be able to fit the waistline of the skirt into the waistline or into your waistband. If you don't have a corner like this that you can connect to your waistband, I don't know, I feel like it would be a bit tricky to actually finish up the waistline of the skirt in a way that is neat. That's the reason why I came here and just like made this corner that I'm going to be shooting out like this to connect to the rest of this extension that we did on the side seam. I hope that made sense. Let me know, Renessa, if I have explained this in a way that is helpful. I'm going to come here and I'm going to connect the waist edges together. Okay, this is my sign to go and buy blue chalk. Understood. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to draw like a corner here. I won't really make it a corner. I think I want to curve it a little bit, so when I'm folding and hemming things, it's not tricky to do. So this I'm going to just curve out a little bit and then connect it to the side. I think after this live stream, I will leave links under this live stream. So in the video description, links to any other butterfly tutorial that I think you guys might find useful. So you're able to watch that one as well. All right, 4 o'clock. Okay, so that's the front all cut out. So the side of the front is like cut out, okay, all marked. So this is the shape like that. So that is the corner of the side extended, and then this is the 5-inch extension that we've done along the entire side. That is the stitch line here, this one, and that is the hemline of my skirt. That is my hip, and this is my waistline. So at this point, when you are cutting, you have the option of adding seam allowance, like Companion mentioned earlier on, for the edges of these extended bits, or as you're cutting, you just cut away by like 1/2 inch to 1 inch, so you have a little bit to go in and fold and hem the edges of this extension. So the skirt itself does not have its own seam allowance. The seam allowance goes in for the edges because you want to be able to fold these edges, so when you stitch everything together, that side of the skirt is nicely finished as well. What should we do? I think I will cut and leave 1/2 inch outside of my line, so that acts as my seam allowance. At this point, once I cut, there's no turning back. Pray for me. Everybody pray for me. Let me just add some pins because I want to be able to use my front to stitch my back, so everything is easy to do. If you're just joining us and you missed maybe the past, we talked about like fabrics, we talked about measurements, you have the option of scrolling back and starting this live stream from the beginning, or you can just rewatch this at your own convenient time. This is being recorded, so I'll most likely re-upload it again as a whole tutorial on my channel. So I'm going to go in and cut. For anyone who is cutting with me, I am cutting 1/2 inch outside of all of the lines I have drawn. So I have a little bit of fabric or seam allowance to connect the skirt to the waistband on this side here, and then I have some measurements here that I can use to hem around the edges of my skirts. So here we go. There's no turning back now. Because if I cut this thing spoiled, that's the end. That's the end. It's done. It's a done deal. Once I cut it out now, you guys will see the real shape. I think that would really help too. I'm getting to stand up for this corner. Yeah. The sound of scissors is so satisfying. Alright, this is the shape of the skirt once you cut it out. So that is the waist, this is the hip, and then this is the hemline. This is going to be the stitch line, and then we'll go in to make the tunnel here for the elastic in my case, because that's what I'm working with. The scissors is pristine. It's so sharp. It has cut me so many times. That scissors, hi. It's so, see the pin cushion I was looking for was hiding underneath here. That scissors is actually very sharp. That's cut me plenty times. Okay, now that the front is cut, I'm going to use the front to cut the back. I think once you get the general gist of cutting this front, the back is pretty much the same. Let me just add more pins so when I transfer it, it stays put and it does not shift. Let me add one more here. Okay, I'm just going to shift this aside and then lay down my fabric so I can cut the back. I've already cut out my waistband prior to this recording, so if you haven't cut out your waistband, you need to cut your waistband as well. If your fabric is floppy and flowy like mine, you would need to either add some interfacing or double it in such a way that it adds some stiffness and thickness to your skirt. I hope this is going to be long enough. Hey. This is not enough. It's cry. I'll start to cry. It's cry. All right, let's lay this down. Let me grab this. Just pull it back. Let's see fabric. Let's be sensible here. It's like the last days of summer in the UK. It's still a bit hot today though, if I'm being honest. But I feel like this is like the last of summer. I think in the next couple of weeks, it will start getting cooler.
When are you going to be sewing?
Soon. Once I cut the back, we'll start sewing. My operations manager is asking me, when are you going to sew? It's like, soon, sir. Very soon. Wow, this is literally just enough. Hey! Just enough. I serve a living God. I think the back is just a little bit shorter. Let me see if I can bend it and make it work. Come on. So for the back, I am just laying down the front that I've cut out on some fabric. This is double layer, and I'm going to leave a little bit of material here that's going to act as my zip allowance, so I'm able to stitch the zip onto the center back of the skirt. Just lay everything down. I think my back is short by literally half an inch. We'll make it work. Okay. Alright, I think everything is in. Add a few more pins. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask. We're about to cut out the back of the skirt at this point, so we can actually start sewing. Time check is 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna try and get this done today. Okay, I think everything is done. Let's cut out the back. ASMR. This is this ASMR. Okay. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, companion is saying mine is just enough to no space for zip allowance. Yeah, if your fabric is stretchy, then you are lucky. I'm wondering if you have to put an elastic waistband though. I'm just wondering. I'm curious to see how you finish yours, because this part of the skirt is quite tapered to the body. You can also add an not elastic, Jerry. You can also add a zip later on. I'm just cutting this bottom edge open, so I have like a center back, open center back edge. I think after doing this, we can get on to sewing. Okay. Alright, cool. I'm just going to do some notches. So I'm going to notch here where the hip line is. I always like to add notches to pieces when I sew. It just makes assembly a lot easier. Assembly in terms of like sewing makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to notch here as well, which is the stitch line for the front and the back. And then I'm going to notch this particular corner so I know how much zip allowance I have. Just cut it a little bit. And then the top, the waistline as well. Okay, this corner. Okay, everything is ready. Everything is cut. We can sew. We can sew. This is awesome. If you just joined or you joined late, you can scroll back and start from the beginning. You can also come back and rewatch this again in the future. If you have any questions or anything that you didn't quite understand, feel free to ask in the chat. I will get back to you. You can also use any of the supers in this live stream. You can use the super chats, the super stickers, or the super thanks to support the work that we do on Kim Day, because at this point it's a collective effort of me, our operations manager here, and you guys as well, to keep this channel growing and thriving. All right, now in terms of sewing, the first thing I think I want to do is I want to hem everything. So I literally just want to go in and hem all of the edges, because I just think once it's hemmed like that, I don't have to think about overlocking anything. I don't have to think about using bias binding anywhere. It's just a nice and smooth edge. So by hemming, I mean I'm going to fold and sew this edge for the front pieces, so the sides of the front, the sides of the back, I am also going to go in to hem the bottom. So I'm just going to fold and stitch it in place. Thankfully, we're using my industrial machine today, and that machine has super speed. It stitches really quickly.
Okay, so since you're going to be sewing, I will need to attach
a
microphone on you.
Thank you.
People can hear you even when you're at the sewing machine.
All right, let's test the audio. Let's test the audio. Can everybody hear me? Because we're going to go to the sewing machine now and actually start sewing. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. You guys are quiet today. Is it the heat? Is it the heat, or is it it's like the last Saturday, the last Sunday of the month? Belinda is saying would have been great if the fabric was plain. Yes, you can use a plain fabric. I think just feel like using a plain fabric. You can use a plain fabric if you want to. You can also use a fabric that has less drama or less print. I know you guys are struggling to see the chalk line because of all of the print that is happening here, but I just think this will look really cute when it's all done. I think this paired with like a black turtleneck jumper in the autumn with like some nude or like neutral colored boots will look really, really nice. So you can work with plain or with pattern if you wanted. All right, let's go and sew. I'm going to take this to the machine. I think my scissors is already here. All right, we on here. Just going to tie my hair up. We all good?
I think we're all good, yeah.
Oh, hello. Shout out to George for coming up with these, the setup of life. He's not an operations manager for no reason. Oh my. Okay, let's start with the front. Where are you? I'm just going to go in here to roll. So basically just roll twice. Very slim roll, so I don't lose too much measurements. This is my waistline. That is the side of the extension. And that is the side seam. So this I'm just going to finish like this. Just roll it twice and sew. So it has a nice clean finish. Because this part of the skirt will actually be obvious, not the waist side, but the actual side on the, like around where the hip and where the legs are. It will be obvious when you wear the skirt. So you want to have like a nice smooth clean finish there. Please ask your questions, so I will still come and answer them, even though I am away from the computer now. I also answer them. Oh, this machine is sweet. It's sweet to sew on, sure? I'm curious to see what you guys like, your choice of fabrics, how you guys will style your own skirts. I already know how I'm going to style the skirts. Black shirt or like a black turtleneck, neutral boots, or even like a white, not white, maybe cream. A cream shirt would be nice with this. And like it's something I can dress up or down. I can imagine dressing it up in such a way that if it's a cold autumn winter day, I can wear it tight because it's going to be on the shorter side. Can add some tights, add some boots. Look really, really cute. I can also like wear like a nice black satin blouse and like a black strappy sandals. That would look nice as well. All right, so from the side.
Joy is saying, I like your top. Did you make it?
No. This top I got it from Cider. It's a brand called Cider, like CIDER. Like, they have really cute, like, affordable fashion. I don't even know where they are based, but every now and again they pop up on my Instagram and they pop up on my Facebook. So that's where it's from. I have it in this color and then I have it in black. I'm a bit hot in it though. I feel like I should have worn like a simple t-shirt. I'm trying to dress up for you guys. Now heat is killing me. The things you do for love. Ooh. Okay, I need to be quick. Let's be quick. Let's try and finish this skit. Let's not be playing around. Oh Lord. Oh, this machine is sweet. It's like, can you hear that speed? Okay, so this is the one side of the side seam done. I will need to iron this later on, but at the moment, this is what it's looking like. I think this will make a really nice holiday skirt as well.
Let's see.
So here, just like that.
Okay, you might want to see it on the table.
Yeah, I'll show it on the table. I just want to hem everything. So it's just a case of making the tunnel, adding the elastic, adding the waistband, and adding the zip, and we're done. I think that's the order in my brain. I have it written down, but I think that's the order of events. Because if I add the waistband before adding the zip, the zip would finish into the waistband. Because if you add the zip before adding the waistband, you need to add like a hook or buttons to finish the waistband. Please don't even go and sew my finger. Ah, this machine has actually stitched me once. Like it's stitched into my nail. The pain! Because the needle on this thing is strong. I find cry that I did not see the cry. The pain, and it's instant bleeding, Instant bleeding. Since then, I'm always careful with it. But please be careful, don't be like me that I'm talking and sewing. Careful when you're using this industrial machine. So this is last side for the front. Oh, am I able to finish this skirt today? Wait, let me not talk too soon. Let me not talk too soon. Let me not talk too soon. Just so But how have you guys been though? Yeah. UK, they say it's going into a recession. I don't even know how to feel about it. You know, you're just like, God, you are my provider. Because if you read and listen to the news there, it's just headache you'll be having. How's everyone doing? Like, UK, apparently it's like very expensive in Canada as well. I know some of you are joining in from there. But how's everyone doing? How are we managing? The words of somebody there I know.
I feel like a roll on their sewing machine. Nobody's saying anything. Everybody seems to be like their fabrics in the middle of
what? Sewing their own things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool as well. Just trying to get this last edge. I think what I love live streams from a production perspective is once we finish a live stream, that's it. I don't need to go back and do voiceover. Maybe I might need to go in and cut it down sometimes, but the live stream is done. The live stream is done, man. Like, it's finished. So it's just like a one-time thing. That's why I love live streams. Just coming in here now to do this edge. Oh, you panning in.
You know the angle.
Operations manager George in the building is giving us angles. You go fear now. Panana. Before should help me thank Giorgio. The dedication to the craft. It's coming in, it's zooming in so you can see all that I'm doing. Thank you. All right, so this is the front all done. You can actually press all of these seams that you've done for a nicer and more beautiful finish. Well, I just want to keep on sewing, and I think I'll iron at the end, or I'll press it at the end. So let me just show you. So that is the side all done. That's like that side all done. Down to the hemline, all done as well. So that is the front all hemmed. I'm going to
see one in detail.
Here you go.
Oh.
Here.
No, stop.
And then to the sides. So this I'll need to like iron down so everything is nice and flat and looks even more beautiful. But this is the front all hemmed. I'm going to repeat the same on the back. So fold along here, then fold and stitch the hemline as well on the left and the right back skirt. So let me just set this aside. Then I can go ahead to work on the back. The back, I will leave the center back edge raw. I feel like I want to leave it raw. You could also hem it though. So then you don't have to think about finishing that center back edge after you fit your zip. So the choice is yours, children of God. Well, let us start from the side here. So this video that I made, which video was it? Oh God, I think it was what video was it? I think it was how to reduce, how to do like a more comfortable fit around the crouch. I think I did that.
You've got some people.
Do we have questions?
Yeah. I'll just read out what I'm seeing here.
Oh, and then I'll just answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so perfect.
I'm new to sewing and aspiring designer, so seeing your process like this is very interesting and helpful. Even the way you manage your sewing machine, I'm still trying to get used to it.
Yeah. I remember the first time I used an industrial machine, I was afraid. As in, I was honestly afraid of the machine because it was fast. Everything was vibrating. It's a very scary experience if you haven't used a machine or an industrial sewing machine before. It can be very overwhelming. So I understand when people come for sewing classes and they're like, oh, I don't want to match it, I don't want to spoil it. It's like, it's a normal fear to have. It's something new. So I say you'll become more comfortable the more you sew. So the more you use the machine, the more you try different projects, you just find that you become more comfortable. There'll be days that you just match it one kind and it will go too quick when you, but I think experience. Why are you laughing,
so
John?
there is another one.
Experience be your best friend.
A couple more. There is one. I'll just read it out and then I'll translate it.
Okay.
Vous êtes très jolie et très agréable à regarder. Dommage que l'anglais n'est pas mon point fort pour le moment, mais j'aime bien ce que vous faites, which means you are very beautiful and very pleasant to look at. A shame that English is not my first language.
Oh, stop it.
But I like what you do.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, this hot Sunday afternoon. People are washing me. Okay, oh, thank you. We call it washing. It's like Nigerian slang for when you flatter someone. Thank you so much. That is so cute.
And you've got someone saying, I don't like to watch the news anymore. 'Cause
Oh yeah, me neither. Like,
I can see it as a passing phase. We will survive.
amen. Oh, we'll survive, because I kid you not, every other video, every other post on social media is somebody saying something about like the recession or the economy, and it can be very overwhelming and it can be very scary. I won't even like pretend or anything. Something I've told George, my husband, is like, man, let's you know, be prepared mentally, but let's also still enjoy the everyday life, because being alive is a blessing. Being alive, being healthy is a blessing. That there are people begging God for that in the hospital, like begging God for good life, begging God for good health. So if you have that, if you have life, that is something to still be grateful for. See, I almost stitched my fingernail. Jesus. Oh, it would not be funny if that actually happens. If that actually happens live.
Oh, please don't. It'll just make me very stressful.
But it's me that will be in the pain. It's me that will be bleeding. Why would you be stressed?
Because I will have to deal with you having to deal with the pain.
Okay, I should stop talking. I'm not folding this thing well again. It's not nice anymore. Let me focus. Let's focus. See, that side is not very nice compared to the first one I did. But we move. This is the bottom of this side. If you have more questions, please ask in the chat. Feel free to also use any of the supers. So the super chat, the super thanks, the super stickers to support the channel. I'm actually working on a few exciting projects for the autumn season. You guys can see this jacket behind me, right? That's an upcoming tutorial. I think it should be up next week. So this is like your sneak preview for our upcoming projects. You people love on the channel. I notice you guys love outerwear and trousers. Anytime I do any of those two categories of garments, you guys love bottoms and outerwear. So we're kicking off the autumn season with an over-the-top jacket. Actually has a belt. Belt is not very visible, but that's coming I think in a week or two. So if you have not turned on the notification bell, this is your sign to do so. So that should be exciting. In an ideal world, I should have ironed and pinned down all of these things that I'm sewing right now, but that is not the case. So if you have the time, and if you want a much cleaner finish, I would definitely recommend ironing and pinning down all of this. It just ensures that your fold is also more even across if you iron it before you start sewing. Okay, last one. Okay, that's the back one, back done. Let's do the last back, and then we can go on to fit the elastic tunnel. I am leaving the waistband raw as well, because I'm going to go into, I'm leaving the waistline raw, because that's going to go into the waistband of the skirt. So you don't need to hem the waistline. That one, you won't need to do that. That's not necessary. That is not necessary. For anyone who is curious, I got 1.5 meters of fabric to do this skirt. But if you want a longer fit, I'll say like 2 meters. You also need to consider your height. If you're a taller girl, you might need to get 2.5. If you want it like longer on your body, but I say 2 meters is like a good measure of fabric to get. Yeah, just showing all my mistakes today, George. You know when the camera comes and you can see all the pores in the person's skin. That's what you're doing today. All right, let's do the sides. I just want to show the elastic bits, because I think that's the part of this design that I think is the coolest. Because everything else, I think you guys have an idea of pudding. You have an idea of figuring out. You have an idea of how to fit a zip, how to sew in a waistband, but this elastic tunnel side is what I really want us to get to today. Like if we don't do anything else, let's do that one today. Okay. Okay, almost finished with this side.
So on this one is asking, would a line and blend work well with this pattern? Maybe repeat the question because I don't know if the microphone picks it up.
Would what? Would
a line and blend work well with this?
A lining blend?
Linen. Linen? L-I-N-E-N.
Oh, a linen blend. Would a linen blend work well with this skirt design? Is that what the question is? Ooh.
A linen blend.
What is the linen blended with? Is it with satin? With silk? Because basically you want to get a fabric that has a little bit of movement. That's just, if the linen has a little bit of movement, if it's not too stiff, it should work. But if it's something that, you know, when you fold it and it does not look like it's going to ruffle nicely, you might want to reconsider maybe another option. So it's what's linen blended with? That would be my follow-up question.
And somebody saying, I so enjoy and appreciate all your hard work to share your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you know what's funny? The homily from church today was using our talents and our gifts to empower and enrich the lives of other people. And that message spoke to me so much because I go through these stages, like with making YouTube videos, with doing collections. It's like, what am I doing? I'm just like doing videos here. I could be doing something else. I could go and get a full-time job. But when I just heard that message, I was like, you know what? Don't worry. Baby girl, you are doing all right. You're on the right track. Because I just believe that when you have that kind of impact on someone's life, whether you're teaching them something, showing them how to do something better, giving them the ability to create an opportunity and a better life for themselves by working with their hands, I don't know. There's something so priceless about that level of impact, because that person could go on to start a business. That person could go on to, you know, make a garment for themselves that they'll feel very proud about. That person could go on to teach another person. So you're just passing the gift from one human being to the other. So I hope I'm able to continue to do that. So, because life is very unpredictable. I hope I'm able to continue to, you know, share my talents and gifts. Because honestly, it's a gift from God. The ability to just sew and enjoy sewing and share it the way I'm able to. Simply just a gift from God.
Sorry about that. I just changed the presentation to myself. Do something.
George, are you stealing my shine?
I'm stealing your shine. I just need to do something.
That's okay. I'm just finishing off this this edge of this back. I think we'll move on to doing the elastic tunneling soon. All right, let's see. I hope my microphone is still working. You know, the last time it tripped off on its own.
It's still working.
Okay, good. Cool. All right. So I think we can go on to actually stitch the sides of the skirt together. So I'm going to go back to the table. Let's go back to the table and join the side seams. All right, let's travel there.
On the table.
Yes. I'll be back to the sewing machine soon, but this next part I'll need to come to the table to do it. Oh, I see more questions here.
No, it's just Onesma one is saying the last two things. There's the girl who asked about the linen.
Ah, okay. It doesn't have to have stretch, you know, because this fabric doesn't even have a lot of stretch. So it doesn't have to have stretch, but stretch would be nice. Because the skirt does not have a slit at the back. So stretch would be nice to allow for ease of movement. But yeah, it should have some kind of, you see how this one is just like, you know, moving on its own free will. It should have a little bit of that, in all honesty. Okay, now I am going to put right sides together of the front to the back. I'm just going to add some pins here because basically I just want to sew, you know, the first chalk line that we drew, we're going to sew along that chalk line now. Just grab some pins, match. Oh, how I would love to iron what I'm sewing right now. Time check is 4:31. So be mindful of the time right now. Chalk is not visible on this side, so I'm going to mark it again here. I just have some kind of guide. Thank you. From Champion Adedeji. Yeah, they're much more than you think. Thank you, my dear. That's so sweet. That is actually so sweet. I appreciate the love. I think I'm very hard on myself. I don't know if it's because I'm like the first child, the first female child. I tend to be very, very like tough on myself. Just the way I've been for as long as I can remember. But thank you for your sweet message. Okay, basically what I'm just doing now is, because this side of the front does not have the line that we marked earlier on, I'm just marking it here so I know exactly where I'm sewing. But if we turn to the other side, this side that has the stitch line, I essentially just need to stitch along this line. So let me pin this one. I think this side will be clearer and easier for you guys to see. Okay, let's do it this way. There we go, that's better. Just putting right sides together of front to back. Let me add some pins so it does not move when I go to sew. But basically I would need to stitch along this choke line. That was the first line that we marked. I'm going to stitch from the bottom all the way to the waistline. Then outside of that, I am going to come in and stitch another line close to that first one. And that tunnel is where we're going to be putting the elastic or the strap or whichever one that you decide to work with. That's the next action of duty. So I'm going to be going back to the machine soon.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Get the best of both worlds. Okay, I think the side is almost done. Add 2 more. Okay, let's go and sew. Let's go back to the machine. I'm gonna take this one this time. I'm going to start from the side that has the chalk marking, and because this side I notched exactly where I want the stitch line to be, or along the side seams, I'm going to sew like that along the sides, joining my front to my back.
What is it that you're joining?
Oh, I'm joining the front to the back along the side seam. So I'm just going to come here. I'm going to be sewing along the chalk line. So it'd be helpful if you draw the chalk line on both sides and not be like me. I only drew it on one side because I'm trying to be mindful of time. Try not to sew any part I don't want to sew off. Okay, that's one side done. Now next to that stitch that we just did, you would leave like, I would say 1/2 inch from that stitch, not inside of your skirt or outside of your skirt, so that way you're able to go in and add the tunneling kit. You're going to add the elastic. I say it's tunneling. This is hard. Oh Lord. Wow, my brain. For this, if you feel like drawing a chalk line will make it easier for you, you can mark it with a chalk first before you go into stitch. At this point, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm afraid that my eyeballing is... So you end up with something that looks like this. So you have like that, and this is where you pass your elastic or your strap through.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, this is the first stitch, the one that we marked. That one is stitched there. They want to stitch another one to the side, not inside of the skirt, or to this side. And let it be wide enough for your elastic. I would recommend using like a 1/2 inch elastic, so it holds the weight of your skirt and it kind of gets concealed in the ruffles. If the elastic is if it's too slim, it might not be able to hold the volume of the skirt. If it's too wide, I don't know, I haven't tried and I haven't seen a wide elastic butterfly skirts. So that side is done. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side, and then we can add the elastic afterwards. This skirt is actually finishing. Hey, glory be to the Lord in the highest. Hallelujah. I think I'll do everything except the zip. I think if I'm able to fit the waistband, I think I'll end it. I'll call it a day there. I'll call it a day. Glory be to the Lord. Adoration be. Honor be. Power be. Imagine not doing this and then you now stitch one side of the skirt that I didn't plan to stitch. You know how to unpick everything. Hey, please let me not jinx it too. Alright, so this side is done. I'm going to go in to make the second stitch to make the tunnel for this side of the skirt. Do we have any questions, George?
No, there's no questions.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody is hard at work or just vibing, just catching a vibe.
Yeah, we do have about 16 kilos.
So what are you guys doing? Please, I want to... Do you want to... Can you put up a poll? Let's see if people are actually sewing. I am so curious.
Oh yeah, I'll just put up a very simple poll.
Yeah. Let's see if anyone is actually... I know Companion is cutting and not sewing today, which is totally fine. Oh, please, oh, this machine, I just got to beg you. Am I the only one that talks to my machine like it's a person? I see the machine understands me. Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to... It's looking really good. I'm going to head back to the table to add the elastic now because we have made the tunnels on both sides. So that's one side done. That is the other side. So that's what it's looking like now. This is the wrong side and this is the right side.
Okay, what does the whole piece look like?
Do you know what? I've just realized I made a mistake, but we're going to just go with it today. So I was meant to stitch this with wrong sides together, guys. You know when they say that if you say something, you will jinx it. So I'll just continue like this today. But if you are sewing this is the wrong side of the fabric, because basically what you want to have is this happening on the right side of the fabric. But I'm going to show you guys today and finish it on this wrong side. But it was meant to be wrong side together, not right side together. So this is what it's looking like so far. I have the tunnels on the side here, and in these tunnels I'm actually going to add the elastic or the straps, so it does like the gathering detail.
Let me see.
Here, you know, like this, it already looks really nice though. Before I've added the elastic and the straps, they're already looking really good. But please put wrong sides together.
So what is the mistake that you made?
You can't tell the mistake.
It's the wrong side.
Yeah, so this is the wrong side. The mistake I have made is I was meant to sew with right sides. So I've put right sides together, but I was meant to sew like this.
Yeah, I get it. How did you make that mistake?
I don't know. I guess I distracted myself. But I'm sure you guys get the gist. So this is what it's looking like. Let's go put the elastic. Me, I'll finish it too. Me, I too like myself. I'll finish it like that. What you do? Oh, I don't understand. Okay. Let's pass the elastic.
Okay.
Here you go. Thank you. All right, so let's pretend that this is the right side of the fabric because this is not. I am going to pass the elastic through the tunnel that we have made. Let me just show you guys with this tunnel here. Yeah, full. So this is my tunnel here. This is the elastic I'm going to use. For the elastic, I want my finished skirt to be 20 inches. So I feel like I would want the elastic to be around like 17 inches. So it says 35% of you guys are actually sewing with me today. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Please avoid my mistake though. If you're sewing with me, oh, do not make the same error I've made. I have made the mistake for everybody so you can avoid it. So I'm going to use an elastic length of, let's see. So I would do 17 because the elastic will still stretch a little bit. But what you can do is basically cut the elastic to the length that you want your finished skirt to be and then try on the skirt. And if you feel like it's not at the length you want it to, you can easily just pull the elastic more from the top and adjust it to the length that you want. So I am going to cut at, let's see. I'm going to cut at 20 inches for now. I feel like I will reduce it. If you're just joining, we're making a butterfly skirt today. We are getting towards the end of the process. Don't make the same mistake I've made though. Also feel free to use any of the supers, the super chats, the super thanks, or the super stickers to support what we do here on Kim Dave. It would highlight your comment. I would see your name and your message on the chat as well, and you can contribute whatever amount that you're comfortable with. All right, I have my elastic cut out here. The length I have is 20 inches. That is my desired finished length. I feel like I will most likely shave off a little bit, but let's just start with that. So this I'm going to pass into the tunnel to do the ruching of the skirt. Let me just get a safety pin to do that quickly. So that'll make the process a lot easier. Okay, starting with this side, just going to pass a safety pin through. Oh, I'm just so crossed I made this mistake today. I feel like crying. I think I might do this skirt again now, but let's just finish it. Let's commit to the job at hand.
Can you show just before the elastic disappears what happens here?
Oh yeah, so I'm just going to pin it just before it disappears. I'll pin it down so it does not vanish. Mustn't vanish. Just hold it down with a pin.
Mirror is saying I love you.
Thank you. I'm so crossed I made this mistake, guys. Like, because this part is meant to be this part is meant to be finished differently, but let's just do it up until this point. Hopefully you guys will be able to get the gist and make yours with what I've shown so far. Okay. So I'm just going to move the gathering, try and distribute it as evenly as possible. This is why I said I feel like I might shave more. This is going to ruche up the skirt on the side. See, it's already doing that. So that is this side done. That's okay. If you're not sewing today, you can cut your, and I'm even happy not a lot of you guys are sewing today, so you can avoid this mistake that I've made here, and they also come out a lot better than mine. But I'm going to shave off some of my elastic from the bottom. I suspected that I would need less. I'm moving like 2 inches, so let me pin that down before I cut it. So I essentially need to go back to my machine and tack the elastic here and tack it there. Okay, just going to repeat the same thing on the other side.
Go on, good luck.
Do I?
See you there.
Thank you guys for watching me and watching me work. All right, so it's almost 5 o'clock. Let's get a general consensus of how we're feeling. So basically, after this step of passing the elastic into the side tunnels, what is left is to fit the waistband to the waistline of the skirt, add your zip, and then finish the center back. Are you guys going to be willing to continue with me, or should we end the live stream at 5 and then when I upload the recorded version, I'll add the finishing of the skirt? Does that make sense? Like, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Just let me know your thoughts. It rejected my card. What rejected your card? Did you try to do any of the supers? Companion. Is that what rejected your card? That's strange. I wonder.
Again. People watching.
Wow. Do you know if you're in a room with 80 people, do you know how nervous you would be? Like speaking in front of 80 people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how I see these things, though. Like,
But the problem is we can't see any of them.
but I am aware 80 pairs of eyeballs.
80 pairs of eyeballs.
Yeah.
160 eyeballs.
I'm looking at me right now.
Oh, it's gone down. It's not 120 eyeballs.
Oh man. Okay, I'm going to make the same reduction I made on that side. I think I reduced like 2 inch, yeah, from my other side. I'm actually going to finish this skirt on the wrong side so you guys get the gist. But basically, don't do it the way I've done it in terms of like sew with wrong sides together, no right sides together.
So Nisma saying I don't mind sticking around if you have the time.
Oh yeah, me neither. It's a Sunday night. I don't have anywhere I'm going. Just continue doing the skirt. So this is what it looks like. Let me show you guys from the front. So you get a gist of what it looks like. So that is it all ruffled up. And just shift the ruffles around. That's fine. Radiance, if you're just joining now, you can always watch this video from the beginning. You can just basically scroll back, or you can watch the recorded version that is going to be up live on the channel. But basically, while onto the sewing part, I just added the elastic onto the tunnels at the side. I'm going to tack them down at the bottom edges. At the top, I am going to, because this top should have been finished differently, because basically it's meant to be tucked into the waistband of the skirt. I'm just thinking if there's a way I can finish it in a way that looks still good. Let's sew the bottom first. As my brain is working, we'll be working too. This is problem solving at its finest. All right, I'm just going to tack. I'm just sewing the elastic close at the bottom.
Alimat Habib is also saying, I'm willing to complete the skirt with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Well, I guess we're finishing it today then. I'll try and be quick. I clearly underestimated the complexity of the skirt. Clearly. If you have to leave, that's fine as well too, because I'm aware that, you know, life happens and life goes on. I'm just going in here to tack this tunnel close so it holds the elastic along the bottom. To sew in such a way that you don't see the elastic poking out from the edge. Let's trim this down. Okay, so that's that side done. For this bit here, let me have a second to think. I think I might sew it down and then pull this out. Yeah, let's do that because I want to tuck that into. So I'm just tucking the elastic around there, around the corner where like where it's kind of like flares out. So you sorry, I'm just laughing. George, his belly is grumbling. TMI. To try and fix this edge of the waist, because it should ideally not be like this. Everything was going too smoothly. Something just had to. I go. Okay, let me pull out the excess from there. Let's do the other side. It looks cute though. Would I be crazy if I wear it like this with like doing it on the?
So nobody knows.
I think at first people won't understand, and then there's when they might come close and be like, "Wait, are you wearing the back of your skin?"
Like modern now, no?
Ooh, it might just be starting the trend, you know. Sew it on the wrong side of your fabric. I go. Okay, sew this side. I pulled out a little bit more of the elastic because I wanted to ruche even more. Like I knew, I don't know why I even cut long. Okay, that side is tacked down. I am going to try and fix the waistline. Let me see. If I unpick it here and stitch it in, would that work? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, elastic is in now. Oh, I see there are some comments from Halimat. Oh yes, I'm willing to complete the skirt with you. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, for like, you know, actually taking your time to join the live stream today.
So you can say, in terms of like the, because someone's saying they can't get to the supers.
Oh.
So what you can also do is mention, what is it?
Well, where to find the supers?
No, like if they want, they can also buy a pattern from the store. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay. Roger that. I'm just unpicking this waist corner here.
Well, let me show that first.
Just unpicking that. I want to try and fix this waist so I'm actually able to like finish the skirt properly. Because this I can sew into the waistband, but I want to do it properly so it looks tidy. I think one of my pet peeves is when the finishing does not look as it, oh, that thing is such a pet peeve of mine. Let me try to decide. Let's see if it works. If you joined late, you can always go back. You can literally just scroll back on this live stream and start from the beginning if you joined late. Like that's the beauty of virtual live streams like these. You can just literally just scroll back and start from where you want. But basically, I'm trying to turn this part like this. So we have something like that along the waist. Yeah, let's try and do that. So I unpicked this top edge. Let me put it flat so you guys can see. I unpicked this top edge of the skirt inside. If I had stitched this correctly, you wouldn't need to do this right now, but I'm just sharing a solution that I think might work because I want to be able to finish this top edge of the side seam in such a way that you don't see any of these folded edges showing and it just tucks into the waistband. So I'm going to fold it like this. And then I'm going to sew it like that. So from here to this corner here. So when you open it up, you have this part stitched into this side of the skirt. I'll show you guys when I'm done sewing it. It might seem a bit awkward now. Let me just stitch it on and then I'll show you. You know, it doesn't even look too bad from the right side though. I'm just making discoveries. This mistake I made on this skirt is like, oh, this is another way you can do it. You can wear it both ways. It's reversible. Ah, come on. The design is reversible. All right, let's do the other side and then we can go on to the waistband. Thankfully, the hem of the skirt is already done. So it's essentially just waistband, zip, finish the bottom of the back, and we're done. And we are done, people of God. Is anybody going to do their skirts mini like mine? Or are you guys going to do midi? Because the flyer image I did is like a midi length, which is like mid-calf, ankle length, which has this, it has like a really nice boss lady vibe. Mine is going to be mini though, like above my knee. When I finish, I might show you guys what it looks like on, like the finished length. So if that's something you want to try out, you have an idea of like the dimensions. I think I'll most likely even take nice pictures and post on social media. Confident Ama 9924. Hello, thank you for joining us. This live stream should have ended 5 minutes ago, but not only did you start 15 minutes late, I made a very unnecessary mistake, which I'm trying to salvage now. So I'm still able to use the skirts because why not? I use my hard-earned money to buy the fabric. We will make it work. Because if I can fix this corner, then we're good. I'll wear the skirt like this. Feel free to use any of the supers, the super chats, the super thanks, or the super stickers to support this live stream and to support the Kim Dave channel, whether you are one of the K divas or not. Queen Pacho, watching you do your thing live has been a pleasure. You make sewing look easy. I registered for your online sewing classes at the beginning of the month and look forward to learning more. Thank you. Do you mean the online course? Is that what you mean, Queen? Or do you mean like YouTube videos? People say that I make sewing look easy. Do I? I guess I think what I try to do is I try to be honest about the process. If I make a mistake, say I made a mistake, because there might be someone following the actual same steps and you want to save the person the headache of making the same mistake. And then I try to break down the steps in a way that is easy to follow. Okay, I'm going to take these corners now. I'm just going to sew this corner and sew this corner.
Where do you have your online course? Is it on Teachable?
Yes, it's on Teachable. Oh, the online course. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys are actually enjoying that course. I am working on future chapters, so slightly more like intermediate into advanced projects, so like tailored blazer, corset, shirts, like a long evening gown. That's why it's taking me a while. But I'm actually working on future classes for that course. It took a lot of work to get that thing up and running. So I hope you find it useful, Queen. Please share your feedback as well, so I know what I need to improve, what I need to work on. That would be very, very helpful. You can send it as an email. You can send it as you can leave it as a comment under the classes, because under each class on the course, there is a comment section that you can easily go there and, add your comments. Where is that notch? Here you go. No! Thread is trying to escape.
Sorry, everyone. The microphone is turned off, so we're trying to get it back. This is it. I think that should work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, George.
Try and say something.
Hello, people of the earth. Okay, that looks so much better. That looks so much better.
You want me to set up another poll?
That would be fun, yes. What should we ask?
Anything.
Oh, I think I know. Mini or midi? Which version? Or how long are people making their skirts? I'm actually curious because mine is like mini.
Yeah. So now we are going to be using the microphone on the left hand side there.
Okay.
The other ones keep turning off. Sorry. Not doing what they should be doing.
The lapel mics are not made for live streams.
Yeah, sorry everyone, the microphones keep turning off. The small ones. These ones. So
Are you demoing for us today? So
Yes, I'm demoing.
Yes, I'm
No,
demoing.
this one
No,
should
this
really
one
stay on for longer. So
I'm not sure why it doesn't.
Thank you.
Try it one more time.
Try it one more time.
I'm just pinning the
We're just
waistband.
pinning the waistband onto the waistline of the skirt now. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, our conversation wasn't captured.
So before the microphone tripped off, I was asking, because someone asked if our Monstera plant has a name. And I said, no, it doesn't. Would you like to recommend any names? Let's see. Let's see what you...
Oh, like the poll was also done. It feels like cooking, you know. You put something in the stove, it takes a little bit of time, and then you get a result.
You're having too much fun, Mr. Man.
Let's check the poll.
Okay. What does the poll
Most
say?
people are making a midi skirt.
Ah, yeah. Because the MIDI one is the one I used in the flyer, and it has a... would I say like a more elegant feel? More elegant feel. That's what I would say with that one. So yeah, I see why most more people would want to make the MIDI one. Just remember to cut your first skirt length longer than the finished skirt length you want. Okay, waistband is in. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that in so we can fit the zip on the back of the skirt. Just grab you quickly. Excuse me.
What exactly are you doing? That's like the part where the elastic is, right?
The waistband.
Yeah.
So I'm sewing the waistband into the waistline of the skirt. And I'm just pushing it in so I sew it in one go. And that's the waist of the skirt going into the waistband. Oh. Okay, that is all in. Good. We can go and fit the zip. All right. Well, this is what it looks like on now. You can like move the volume of the ruffling higher or lower. I'm trying to pull the back into. Basically, this is the fit of the skirt. This looks really cute. Even though this is the wrong side of the fabric. I don't know why I can't get over that. I'm sorry. Like, there's the... So you see mine is above the knee, but you can do yours longer if you wanted. I think this would pair really well with boots, with heels. But at this point, all you essentially need to do is add your zip on the center back, then sew the bottom edge of the back of the skirt, and it's basically done. So that's what I'm going to do next to finish it up. Just going to come on here. Just going to trim off this extra bit. This part is uniform. How are you feeling?
You're fine. It says the audio is gone. No, the audio should be back now.
Can you
think that was earlier.
guys?
No, wait, I'll just verify. I have headphones here. Yeah, the audio is coming through. It was from earlier.
Ah, okay. When one of the lapel mics went off, was that when?
Yeah, when the microphone went off.
Oh, okay.
It happens sometimes.
I can, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
someone
they
is saying they
can
can
hear
hear me. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So,
Oh, somebody came up with a name.
oh God. What was
So
the
I don't
name?
know how to say that. Musole or Musol?
Is it Musol or Musole? Queen. How do you pronounce that name? I'm so curious
In
now.
French, you'd have, if it was Musole, in French, you'd have an accent on the E.
But it's not French, you see. This is it, maybe it might be French, you know? What is it, French or English?
Queen Badger.
Queen needs to let us know so we know what we're doing. I'm just going to pin in the zip on the back so we can finish the skirt and everybody, you know, can call it a
Everybody
day.
can go home.
Everybody, we're already at home though. We're already at home. I'm trying to figure out what side is the right side. Invisible zip, invisible zip. Wait, let me do this up. This always confuses me. So if this is my right side of the skirt and I want the zip to be like this, let me just do it like this so I'm not confused. Yeah, I want it to be like that. Okay, got it now. So sick, what am I doing?
You got the name right. It's one of the two.
Musole or Musol? Musol sounds Portuguese
Yeah,
though.
it sounds like muscles.
Why would you name a plant mussels?
It doesn't matter. It's a name. Like, it can be
Why?
Musole.
Why, oh why?
I mean, it's... Can you-
What does it mean? That's what I want to know. Because I'm a huge believer of like names have power. It's like, I don't know. What does it mean? Yes, that's right. Okay. Have I pinned this thing correctly? So if this one is here, and this one will be on this side.
That's in her language. Tailor.
Oh,
It
oh,
means
I
protector.
love the meaning of that name.
Very nice.
Oh, that's a very nice name. Where's so the what?
So I think it's Musole.
Wow. Where is that language from? What country?
Aussie language. I'll show you.
Yeah. Can you Google it, please? I'm actually curious now.
What's that?
Let me just pin this zip because something is telling me that I've pinned this thing wrong. Okay, it's correct. If you just joined or you joined late, you can go back. You can literally just scroll back on the live stream and start from the beginning or whatever part that you missed. I will also be uploading this live stream. It's being recorded right now. At this point, I'm just adding the zip So I'm sort of like finishing up the skirt. So I'm going to add the zip. I'm using an invisible zip. And then after stitching the zip into the back of the skirt, I'm going to sew up the bottom edge that is open to finish it up. So that is...
I've got some more information about it. First of all, the Lozi language. There's a Wikipedia article about that. Niger Congo language. I did type in Solosi, but it found that.
Wow.
And also, musole is a sweet fruit from Zambia. Actually, let's type that in.
I had no idea. Like, see, you learn something new every day. Let me go and be sewing the zip while the people are talking about languages over there. I'm aiming to finish this skirt today. I don't know if it's just my adventurous, daring spirit, but I want to finish this skirt today. I think it's so if somebody watches this live stream, the recorded version, and they want to see how the finished skirt looks like, they have an idea of what it looks like. I have a tutorial on my channel showing how to fit in an invisible zip, like a detailed tutorial, so you can watch that. Oh, this is too close to the teeth, man. This is going to happen.
Don't break the teeth.
It's too close to the teeth. Because the thing with invisible zips is if you sew it too close on the teeth.
Sewing machine for the dentist.
That is the most dad joke I've heard all day. Hey, God. You're not even a dad yet, and your dad jokes are already so bad. Jeez. Please wait till you have children. Okay, I'm just going to sew. This thing is not cooperating with me. Yeah. I need to use the other machine. Basically, I want to get it closed like that, but it's shifting away because I need a narrow footer. I need to do it on my other machine.
Oh no, do we have to like pull out the other machine right now? I don't think that's gonna work very well.
Sure, this says it's not gonna work. Let me try and do it with this one. I want to try and do it with this one. Because that's one of the things with invisible zips. If it's done well, it's so beautiful.
What's the problem there? Let's see it.
So basically, I want it to do that, and it's doing this because the footer is shifting the needle away.
Oh, that's such a tiny detail. Nobody's gonna notice that.
But I will know, and I will be wearing the skirt, and I will know.
I mean, it's already back to front.
Wow, is that shade? Is that shade, George? Don't worry, oh. God will judge you.
Oh, I hope not.
Let me try again. Don't be so close to me. You're making me nervous. You actually...
Get every mistake.
Why? So you can laugh at me later on. I literally feel like that's what you're doing now. Like you're collecting all the evidence. So later on you can be like, haha.
That's not true.
Okay, let me try. See if I can do it. It won't be as neat if I use the single foot for the zipper. That's one con of this machine. I need to get a special footer to fix in zips because the normal footer that it has doesn't let me get close to the teeth, so it's sewing that far away.
Such an expensive machine. I can't do that.
You need to buy a special foot that you now exchange for this one. You know the domestic has like another footer that you can switch to.
It already has teeth. Now, so you want to give it feet?
Okay, that's enough, babe. Please, no more jokes. I use God to beg you. The jokes are just getting worse.
At some point, it's gonna grow legs and then run away.
Oh, God, no. No.
What person do you?
I'm trying to see if I can make it work with this one.
Microphone. Yeah, microphone's still working.
It's not as neat as I want it to be.
Looks good.
Yeah, just like, it's good. Just continue sewing. That's your own now. Okay, let's do the other side. Should you check to see if we have any questions?
Yeah, let me go out.
Okay, let me do the other side quickly, finish the bottom, and then we're done. So I want to round off in the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. So we can let people's children go home, in your words, even though everybody's at home.
Well, luckily for me, I love bad jokes.
Do they now?
Somebody's asking in capital caps. They're saying, how do you feel about PDF patterns versus actual patterns?
It kind of depends. It kind of depends. So PDF patterns are becoming a lot more popular because you can just print them at home and use them. And a lot of times they come in multiple sizes. So if you're someone who makes for other people, you have multiple sizes of the same pattern. And you can just save the pattern in your drive. The paper will not go, it won't rip, it would tear because you have that digital version. So there's that appeal to PDFs. I work with both. I make most of my patterns myself, so I have a wardrobe, a literal wardrobe full of patterns. But I am literally working on a PDF pattern right now for myself, and then I do PDF patterns for like independent brands who maybe are developing their own collection and they want to make PDF patterns that they will send to their manufacturer. So PDFs are becoming more popular. They're becoming more popular, definitely, both for people who make clothes for themselves or they make for other people. So their popularity is definitely growing. But will normal pattern ever go away? I doubt it. I think people will still, there's still that like appeal of like touching the pattern.
PDF patterns we have in the store.
Oh yes, yeah. In case anyone is wondering, I have a category on the store just for like PDF patterns, basic bodice, basic skirt, basic trouser. I am working on this piece behind me. I'm actually working on the PDF for that, which is like a pattern that has a jacket. You can use pattern to make a dress, and you can use the same pattern to make a top. It has a front, back, it has sleeve, it has a collar, it has pockets, and it has a belt. So it's like a 6-in-1 kind of PDF. That would be launching soon, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. It's so much more. I can see clearly now. The skirt is almost done. Okay, let's just do this other side. What did we do here? Oh, we just folded it back. Okay, now the last step for this live stream is I am going to sew the bottom of, so that is the zip stitched in. I'm sure yours will look a lot nicer than mine, but I'm basically going to sew this bottom edge close to finish off the skirt. At this point, if you want to add like a split detail, you can even add that as well. If your skirt is really like tapered and your fabric doesn't have stretch, this is the point that you can do that. There are different kind of slits that you can do. You can do the one where you just roll and sew the edges and then you stitch around it. Or you can do the very advanced splits that you would see on like tailored skirts and tailored jackets. It's kind of like which style you prefer. Mine will not be having a slit. We're almost there. Okay, I'm going to finish these back edges off camera, probably overlock them. But essentially the main skirt itself is done. I'm just going to put it on and show you guys what it looks like, so you get a better sense of what mine fits like on the body. I hear say I not wear this skirt after all this stress I've gone through today. I'll wear it well with pride. See, it's like bouncy because of the elastic. Okay, let's pop this on. Good thing everyone wore like a white blouse today. I need your help doing the zip though. Let me see if I can do it on my own. Oh, I'll be able to manage, don't worry. Oh, this is cute, man. Oh, nobody can tell me nothing. Ooh. I'm just looking at it in the screen now. My zipping my shirt inside the skirt.
Figuring it out.
Yeah. I think the zip is catching my blouse. So I'm trying to, oh, it's in. Oh, this is nice. Let me take off my shorts. Wait. Let me take off my shorts. You cannot show me take off my shorts. No. Let me just take off my shorts. See you guys.
Off camera.
Is that so? I'll show the entire internet my bum bum. No. Because the shorts is adding volume that I don't want it to add. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty.
Good. So if you stand where the chair is standing.
Oh.
Yeah, I suppose.
Here.
Yeah, roughly.
So this is my skirt all done. We actually finished the skirt today. I feel so proud of teamwork and team effort. So this is what it looks like on. That's the side view. Oh, this is so cute. Ooh. Yes. Well, where are we going, babe? Are you taking me on a date tonight? Are you taking me
on a date every night?
Every night. Ah, please, we need to go somewhere with this skirt. This is actually nice. Even though they would have made a big blunder on like constructing everything correctly.
Back a little bit so I can actually.
Here.
So I can't go back any further.
That is the skirt all done. Mine is a mini version. You can make yours longer. They said there is beauty in mistakes. I will definitely wear the skirt like this.
Into the camera.
Into the camera. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I keep looking that way, but this is the skirt all done. Even though the back is the front now, I would wear the skirt like this. I'm sorry. Like, this is actually really cute. It turned out so well. I need to go and press all of these hemmings I've done around the skirt. Besides that, this is it all done. I hope you guys have enjoyed joining this live stream. You can make yours longer if you want, or you can go with this mini version like I've done here. You can also adjust the ruffles because you know it's elastic we put here, so you can pull this up if you want the ruffles to be more on top. You can pull it up like this. If you use the strap, you basically just pull the strap from the bottom and then you tie it. That's why I say you can use elastic or you can use strap. But this is the finished skirt. We're done. Even though it gave me headache and almost hypertension, it's all done. Ah, what a show. Okay. Let us round off for today. we're all done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys actually staying all the way till the end. You can check out any of the PDFs on the shop. There's going to be a link in the chat that you can easily just click to go shop any of these, from the design planner to either the basic bodice, the basic skirt, the basic trouser, to past workshops that we have done that you can access for yourself. This project has been so fun. I am definitely wearing this skirt. I know people will be confused on why the back is the front and why the front is the back, but I think if I style it in a way that makes sense, I would feel comfortable and confident in this. Share your projects with me on social media at Kim Dave Designs. Don't forget to use the hashtag Sewing with Kim so we can see each other's work and we can inspire one another, whether you're going for the mini length or the midi length. I'm curious to see what you make. If you enjoyed this live stream, give this video a like. Even though I know it's a live stream, you can still like this video so people who miss the live stream would get notified. Like, it will come up on their like page somehow due to the engagement. They will get to see it and they will get to join on this project. But thank you for watching. This has been so fun. The recording is going to be off, so you can always go back and watch this again. But thank you guys. I will see you next time. Huge shout outs to everyone who has joined in from the beginning, joining in the middle, joining at the end. Thanks to George, who has been here helping out with all of the technical issues, the sounds, so on and so forth. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Let me go out in my new skirt. Yes. Yes. Bye-bye. Oh, Lord.